Okay, good evening again, everyone. Thanks so much again for joining me tonight. I'm Gina E. Joseph. I'm the founder of Nail Goddess Global and the chair to CEO. Tonight, we're going to be talking about innovation, not the intimidating, scary kind. I'm talking about innovation that fits into SKN's beauty industry, innovation that fits you. So let's jump right in. Okay, so before we get into strategy, we are starting with mindset. Innovation begins with your energy and your openness. So let's see in the chat how everyone is feeling. So one for curious, two for nervous, or three for excited. So I'll be checking in the chat. Okay, Mika is excited. Joy is curious and excited. And Miss Smithon is curious. And Heather is curious as well. Okay, so innovators aren't perfect. They're mostly curious. They're willing to see things differently. And that's the energy I want to bring here tonight. Okay, so I'll hear from you first. What do you think innovation is? So just unmute your mics and tell me what you think innovation is.
For me, I think it's being able to offer something different regardless of the wide range of competition that it might have out there. Just being able to step out and bring something different to the others, even though the industry is quite similar.
Nice. Joy, Miss Smithon, Heather.
I think I have the same sentiments as Mika. For me, it's something everyone could resonate, whether young, old, in between, male, female. I feel like there's space and you can make space, even though we somewhat have a saturated market in certain bits, especially in the beauty industry.
Okay. Heather, Joy.
Well, for me, it's about the market is there for everybody to benefit from. It's like you teach one, help one in the aspect that if something that I'm not familiarized with, then I could go to a source and ask. However, it's very eco-friendly in terms of product wise, and you just have to be open-minded at all times. The industry is, yes, it's saturated somewhat, and be mindful that even though it's saturated, it's who is above you. Even though me and you have the same business, we have different ideas and different niche. Me and your idea is not the me and your thinking is not the same thinking. So, that's my take.
One more person wants to go before we find out what innovation is. Tiffany, unmute your mic, please. Tiffany?
Hi, good evening.
Good night.
Good
What do you
night. How are
think
you?
innovation is?
For me, innovation is the process of creating and like bringing forth new things. Like bringing new ideas, new strategies. Um, like finding better ways to do things, finding easier ways to do things as well. Like even if there is a strategy of how to do things, you could always improve it. There's always some kind of method that could be used to improve it, to make it easier, to make it faster. Yeah, that's what it is to me. Like basically, um, introducing new things and freshening up things and stuff like that.
Okay.
Sorry for the baby.
That's okay. Okay.
Hi, hi Gina. Good night.
Hi, Heather. How are
Uh,
you?
I'm good. I just came from running. So I tried to catch myself.
Okay.
Okay. For me, innovation is always for me something like you create something new, try something new to create a different experience. It could be similar to some that already existed, but it's a new way of doing it. So it don't have to be something major. We hear innovation, we create something like okay, we next cell phone, but we can be a cell phone, but offer something different that's gonna change the different experience for the customer. So for me, that's when I think innovation for me.
Nice, nice. Okay. Anyone want to share before we move on? Okay. So thank you all. Here's a true definition of innovation. Innovation is simply solving a real problem in a smarter, simpler, and a better way. It doesn't need to be complicated or expensive. It just simply answers a need, and it makes your lives and the client's lives easier, faster, and better. Why innovation matters in SKN's beauty industry. Let me clear up a few things here. SKN is a small island, two small islands with big competition. Clients are more educated and more observant, more so now than ever, because there's the internet, social media platforms, and persons are opening up themselves to experiences and traveling more. Innovation raises industry standards. Innovation builds loyalty, it unlocks premium pricing power, and open doors to many opportunities. Who in here wants more opportunities for 2026? Just drop something in the chat so we can see who's interested. Who's interested?
I'm interested.
Okay, lovely. That was who, Mika?
Tiffany.
Oh, Tiffany.
Oh, I
I'm
was
looking
busy. I
I'm
was busy
looking
putting
something
me
looking with the two
definitely in
words.
the chat.
I'm getting an echo. Who's talking? Somebody's. So Joy says me, Amy, Mika, me definitely. Miss Smith raise her hands. Heather has both hands up. Amy says definitely. Nice. So here's what innovation looks like in the beauty industry in St. Kitts Nevis. Let's bring it home with real examples of innovation in our beauty industry. First, we have signature and branded experiences, new service upgrades, educational content, cleaner, safer, professional setups, smart, time-saving systems, and collaborations and cross-promotions. Now, looking at the list here, can you tell me which of these you are already implementing in your space? You can put it in the chat. So no one is implementing anything from the list in their salon?
I'm trying to zoom in a little bit because you have a double screen. I can't see clearly.
Okay. Does this work? No. Is this better? Everyone else is seeing the screen clearly?
Yes, I'm
Okay,
seeing
for
the
me, it would
screen.
be, sorry.
Okay. Go ahead,
It would be
please.
the new service. It would be the new service and signature and branding.
So give us an example of a new service upgrade that you have implemented in your salon.
Well, it is not fully implemented, but I am working on it. It's a new lip gloss line, a new lip scrub line, along with waxing and any kind of facial hair removers, and to have a makeup remover out. I'm trying to enhance it a little bit more, make it greater.
Okay. Anyone else?
For me, clients, educating clients, that's a big thing for me. And so I would have implemented brochures for, well, I have little knickknacks that, well, things that they can walk with, but especially for the microblading services, I do brochures because there's so much information, especially aftercare. That is important. And so I like my clients to understand the aftercare for that especially. What else? I was looking. Okay. This signature and branding experience. So that I've been working on. I have my logos and everything like that, but I'm still in the process of trying to push more for the different things that I'm seeing here.
Okay. Heather?
Hi. For me, it's always important to have your signature experiences and your services, because you have to have something that's sort of authentic to you, not what everyone else is using. So for me, I always keep my facial skin treatment as my signature treatments. And for that, I find it's really, really important for me, because everybody can do facial, but not everybody can do your style. So that's the one thing I always focus on. So that's the main thing for me.
Okay. Miss Hodge? I haven't heard from you all night. Miss Hodge says 2, 3, and 4. Miss Hodge?
You can't hear me?
No, your mic was muted. I'm hearing you
Oh,
now.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
For me, I have a few service updates. I am a grader. When it comes to educating clients, I always ask, like, if you have any hair problems pertaining to like dandruff and then sort of things. I try my best to educate them on the certain products you use, like proper aftercare. When it comes to safety, like like for my lawyer clients, they have a specific comb for when it comes to, I'm not like
using the same combs over and over and over on different clients.
Okay. Hopefully. Okay, so here are a few of my innovations that I've implemented at Nail Goddess. So I've started making my own lemongrass peppermint cuticle oil. I have a Golden Age campaign where we seek sponsorship from businesses, clients, family, and friends. And we go out in the month of October to nursing homes and persons that can't come out to salons, and we perform pedicure services. Cross branding collabs. We have done cross branding with businesses like Sugartown Organics, Wax Memories, Skillet, to name a few. And we also have a VIP lounge where persons hire us and we go to the event and we offer hot towel wraps or cold towel wraps, and we do hand massages, express hand massages. But let me tell you, none of these came from luck. They came from observing what clients' needs and creating something better than what we already had. What holds most beauty pros back? And this is something serious in the beauty industry, because sometimes we have an idea and we are not sure about our idea, we are not sure about ourselves, so we are fearful, timid to try or put our innovation on the scene. So let me hear from you guys. What are some of the things that are holding you back or hold you back as beauty professionals? Jump right in.
For me, what held me back was people never wanted me, like they never saw and pay me price. Another thing was I was trying to like license my business and I was getting discouraged. And what I did to step forward and move on from that, I rented a space which is co-owned with other people, and I just pushed forward to get my business license.
Who is speaking, Miss Hodge?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I can't see all of the names. Okay.
Gina?
Yes.
Okay, one of the biggest challenges, is always finance.
Yes, definitely.
And also good health. Because there are a lot of things as a self-employed person you like to do, but where do you get reliable and train professional help to take you to that level? And I think for most persons, that would be the two most popular holdbacks as going forward. That's from my side here. All right.
Okay. And Joy says, okay, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. For me, just like her, financial, some of it,
Who's
of
this,
course, you have
Mika?
to, yes,
Okay.
of course, it's a startup. For me, I invested and used my own money and I got most of what it is I needed. But because I want to expand and always um provide more services, I had a goal that at the end of the year, I wanted to have a certain amount of different services because I wanted it to be a one-stop shop. Most of that I accomplished. Just a few more I needed. But the other thing that is holding me back is spacing because where I live, when I started thinking of using my talents and using all my certificates and all these things, I didn't know where and how to start. So I just took part of my veranda and I built something. It's at good standard. I put in air condition and all of that. And for me, I need more space because, as I said, it's more things that I want to add to the business, but for storage and, so it kind of holds me back a bit. And then to rent a space is like, financial issues there again, because I wouldn't want to go and rent a bigger space. So, the financial part and the spacing thing goes hand in hand for me in terms of what is sort of holding me back.
Yes, I understand. Anyone else?
Yeah, for me, what is holding me back is somewhat what Miss Hodge said. I don't think I calculate the real cost of my service properly. I tend to charge people little, and sometimes I feel guilty, like charging them the real price, like what it's worth. So I
Why?
would say underpricing
Why?
the service is a problem.
Why would you
Why?
feel guilty if you're charging your worth?
Because sometimes I think more like people would come and just be like, oh, I went by this place and it'd be so expensive. And in your mind, you're trying to accommodate everybody and still giving them like a fair price. But from the minute they come with the little story, oh, this is expensive and they went this place, you try not to go what the real price be. I mean, it's a bad thing to say,
But does that help
but
your
I think
business?
no, it doesn't. Of course not. It doesn't. And the next thing I would say too is inconsistent in marketing. Like sometimes not sometimes, all the time I do really good work, but failure to stop and set up the camera, me take pictures at the end. Like I'm very bad in marketing.
Okay. So
Yeah, I have some
you have to
challenges with
do.
marketing too. And I too, sometimes I used to feel guilty, but then when you have to buy your products and you look at how much time you have to put into what it is you're doing, when I took some time and reflected, I was like, I can't feel guilty about this. So it's either you want it or you don't, because they will go somewhere else anyway, and they would pay for it. They want a service, then they will pay for the service. But don't feel guilty about that.
Yes, don't ever
Gina,
feel guilty.
Gina,
Yes, Heather?
can I interject there on
Of
the
course.
Okay. The thing when you're going into business is to first identify your market. Who
Correct.
are your customers? And for the persons who have issues with feeling guilty for charging persons. So if at you start, your product gonna cost at least let's say $100 to offer the service. Then you more or less market to target persons who can afford $100.
Yes.
Because your customers aren't gonna complain about your pricing. When your customers are your customers. Even if you come and you say, okay, well, things gone up, I had to put on extra $50, they will pay. The person who are complaining aren't your customers, and I don't think you should spend much more energy on that. You focus on the persons who you're gonna see every month, because our business relies on repeat business, customers to
I
survive,
agree.
and focus more on the persons who can afford. So when you're starting a business, you have to have the target market. Target people who can pay $100 or whatever you charge. Even if it's only 10 persons, at the end of the month, you show $1,000 that those 10 persons are going to come in with for $100 each. But I know some of our market is small and it's kind of difficult to exclude anybody, but it's better to have 10 persons paying you money every month. It's one set of persons than to have persons coming in arguing and complaining about your service, because obviously they don't know the value of your service. So more focus on persons who can afford your service.
Yeah.
There was something I learned to one of a training session I went was the norm. How to find your customers. They have to find the need for your service, the opportunity, and the money. The person have to need your service. Maybe they value whatever you're offering. They also have the opportunity as well too, because if somebody living in a difficult area and they can access your service. Well, obviously, they don't have the opportunity to for your service, so the person not your customer, more or less, unless you can do something to bridge that gap. And they also have to have the money to afford your service. So if your customer coming to you and don't have the need, they don't have the opportunity nor the money, they're not your customers. You focus on the ones that have all three, and that's where you put your focus on and try to hold that client base that you will develop from those three persons. But to feel guilty about charging for a service, I mean, really, you have taxes to pay. We all know how customs is. The first thing we're gonna be crazy about.
Oh
Plus
yes.
rent, plus your utilities, plus of course paying yourself for the time that you're spending to do that service.
Yes.
So if they don't value service enough to want to pay what you're charging them, then they're not your customer.
Yeah, that's not
So
the
you can
point.
take it from that angle and don't feel guilty about charging whatever your cost. Cause you have to give real cost to your customers, or else you'll be basically wasting your time being in business. That's
You
my
heard me,
piece from there.
Tiffany? And just what Heather
Ye-
said in a nutshell, all wrapped up
Yes.
nicely. Know who
Yes.
your
Yes.
target
Definitely.
audience. If they can't afford to pay, then they are not your clients. And everybody is not going to ever be your clients. If
Mhm.
everybody, if you're trying to target everyone,
Yeah.
you have a real problem on your hand.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Yeah, me. Good night.
Mhm.
Sorry. This Trishnell, the
Hi,
main and team.
Trishnell.
For me, my biggest challenge is finance.
Mhm.
Finance in this sense that I'm like, for instance, I'm trying to get certified in what I'm doing, and is to find the financial, um, to the finance to do that. And not only that, there are things that I would like to offer. But certain things come with being certified at the end of the day. Not that I can't do it, but to secure myself, I'll have to be certified. So one of my biggest kickback is the finance, and to actually find somebody who is like close to you and not have to be overseas or whatever to give you that specific training, because
That's a certification.
I'm into hair care and scalp care, and a much people in the federation does that. And the kind of hunger that I have to get to that root of it, because we have a lot of braiders, a lot of person that do wigs, and not much people who would be able to teach people about the specific hair care and scalp care of the hair, to provide like to say, okay then, well, I can go to this hairstylist and do my braids, but they cannot educate them about the hair. So that's something that I really, really, really need to do, like get into. But sometimes the packages that is offered for that is more than what you make. And sometimes people see you offer certain things and not understand. As Tiffany said, like, you try to help people. It's not that you feel, I wouldn't say feel guilty. It's just that you try to help, because I mean, it's not everybody could. The way how the economy going, there are some people who really would like to treat themselves, but they can't afford it. But you know, they just you work hard for your money and you would love to really treat yourself. So you try to accommodate some people, which, when I listen to the ladies, like I read something there where somebody say, instead of saying that they're not our clients, everybody is our client, but it's just that we just need to find a way to have a package for somebody that, okay then, since you can't afford this, okay, we could offer this for this price, if they could offer, but I mean, not trying to target everybody, but because you're gonna have your clients and somebody gonna have somebody that they prefer to go to than you. But at the end of the day, if you're offering something and you are worth it, you just got to charge what you're worth. Because that was my biggest problem too. I used to undervalue my worth until I realized, hey, there are people out here saying, hey, I don't go buy nutritional and I see the progress in my hair. But then you're charging them $100, but then when you don't charge $100, you still got to dig in your personal money to you still got to dig in your personal money to go and buy the products. And then when you got to bring them in to customs, because when you go Lucky's is telling you $50 is something that you could buy and still bring it into custom for less than that. So sometimes you just got to know what your worth is and decide, hey, you're gonna drop. Some clients gonna drop because since I've done that, since I've sat down and did that, saying that, hey, I really got to up my price because the economy ain't going with what I'm charging. I've lost I've lost clients, but the real ones them stay, the ones who is benefiting and seeing really what my work is doing, they stayed. But sometimes finance plays a big role in it, and to have the mentorship of someone to guide you, because there's certain things that I lack in marketing. um but like, how must put it, but I don't want to say it wrong. But
Just say it.
marketing is one of them too, because I'm not good with social media. I'm not good at putting things together. But there is my hairdresser, a lactician. When I sit in her chair, I would tell her certain things, and I just started to learn how to do reels. I didn't know how to do it. I had an Instagram business page and nothing was on it. I kid you not, because I didn't know how to put them together, organize them. I watch other people things, but it's just to do it. So these are most of my challenges, and to find a mentor like in the field that I am in, because most people are into braiding. I do braid, but I wanted to take it more deeper than just braiding, because there are people who use certain products and not realizing these. They will come to you and say, "Oh, you still go to this person and they ain't plaiting me here good because I losing me here." But you ain't losing your hair because they ain't plaiting your hair good. They're losing your hair because of the caring you do before you go and you plait your hair, or the products that you allow them to use in your hair that damage the scalp, that damage. Like, instead of just braiding, to educate them and the caring of the hair in the same process. But as I said, finance and marketing and those stuff, these are my biggest challenge for me.
Okay. Anyone else wants to share before we move on?
I totally agree with that last caller. Based
Hello?
on I
Sorry, go
hi.
ahead. Go ahead. I was trying
No.
to speak for the longest time, but go ahead.
Mhm.
I totally agree with that person. However, we have to also bear in mind that for customers, they will come and tell you all this, but one of the things behind it too is the supplements they might be taking, because they might have challenges in health issues, and they're taking supplements, and you know it's not only the hair they will lose their nails and that sort of thing. So I mean, to be honest, if ones are gonna genuinely come in, because I do educate my customers them, I do tell them, ask them when they had their last service and how long, because sometimes persons they say, "Oh well, I just had something done the other day." But when you ask them exactly, explain the other day, expound on the other day, and they will tell you, "Oh well, it was like a year and something ago." But I not the other day, the other day was like last week Tuesday or Monday gone. That's the other day for me. So that in a sense, we are persons, some clients, they're not genuinely honest with their self and to the person that they're going to, just because they want to sit in the person chair and have a story. That's my opinion on that.
Hello. Hello, good night.
Good night. Who's
For
speaking?
well, Amy.
Hi, Amy.
Okay, for me, I'm an aspiring entrepreneur. Um, for me, yes, I've always wanted to get exposed to the beauty. Well, my ready skills is creativity, event planning, and marketing. I know some info. I know marketing. I was doing it as at a UE level. Um, However, for me, like I I would watch tutorials. Like I'm always had an interest in like weave or eyebrows. Those are the two areas I've always had an interest in. So I will watch tutorials over and over in YouTube or go on Instagram. But my thing is just fear is like a mindset thing. Um, to step out because starting a business, you are practically a risk taker.
And sometimes to start, to jumpstart, it's sometimes it can feel a little intimidating because it's like, okay, I want to start this area, right? But then so many other people doing it, right? So it's for me, it's like, okay, let me tap into a niche market, because there's some of us may do better at niche marketing, niche, like having a niche market or a smaller, a smaller, it's like you're looking at the market and you're taking a smaller cut out of it, rather than do the broader scope of the business. Some hairdressers may do everything. They may do braiding, they may do everything. But then you may go into it and you may not thrive in that atmosphere, because that may not be your plug. That may not be, where you fit. So it's like trying to find your fit in the market. And of course, money, costing, I mean, customs is, customs.
Yes.
I think custom. I don't know if we can create some kind of community organization where we could just bring in our stuffs together, pull together, because and the business environment is saying is discouraging because locals don't like work with each other. We're always, I don't know, we got this bad mindset about each other. Like, I don't know. But the community in St. Kitts, the actual business community amongst locals, um, there's not much collaboration between each other as locals, which I think we need to do it more. Because even to beat customs in a way, we might just have to make up the mind to pull together, maybe to make it a little cheaper or more cost efficient. Because, like, for one person bringing in all this stuff, it's really going to be expensive. And sometimes the thought of just custom, it kind of like, yeah, but should I really go into this here? So
Yeah.
it's just being a risk taker as a business person, and training and mentorship, because I find sometimes in our local business community, like for those who are ahead, like who more seasoned in the business, they don't want to take time out to train people. Like they don't want to pass on information. They want to keep everything to themselves. And so I was like, okay, when I saw you doing this service, Miss Joseph, I was like happy, like somebody actually stepping out the box and noticing that it
Thank
doesn't make sense to keep all this information to yourself. I mean, it's good to train others, because you would even be making more money as a trainer than just being in the business doing one thing over and over.
Okay, thanks for sharing, Amy. I really appreciate that, and thank you very much for the compliment.
I
Anyone
have
else
a
want to
comment
say
to make.
anything? Miss Mita?
I have a comment to make. Yes. By profession, I am a custom officer. I
Mhm.
have a question for the group. Well, I'm in Nevis, but I know here they have concessions for small businesses. You may not get everything, but there are certain things that may qualify. Is that offered in St. Kitts as well?
Yes, it
Yes,
is.
to some extent it offers, but you have to give a whole outline of what you want to order for your business, and they will tell you, well, they'll eliminate certain things from the list, but it is to some extent.
Oh, okay. All right.
And persons, the requirements, if I can remember clearly, you have to have a business license, be a part of the small business. What else? A business plan. Am I forgetting anything, Heather?
You said your financials,
Yes,
your
your financials, a business plan.
you did your marketing strategy as well too.
Yes, I think you have to have that as well too. So it's difficult. It's not easy for someone that is just starting out or doesn't have the means or doesn't have their business on books altogether for them to benefit from the duty.
And you have a year, you have to be in this business 2 years going forward before you get duty concession.
Excuse me, is that a new regulation or something that just came up recently?
No, I don't think so. I don't think you have to be 2 years in. I'm also a custom officer, and I think as long as you are registered, as in like through inland revenue, if you're just starting, like let's say you're bringing in like your furnitures and what's not, you is liable to get the concession. You just have to send them like a letter expressing what you need, because you're not gonna get concession on nothing else but what you put on that paper to bring in, especially if you're just starting, because there are concession for new businesses that is just starting. I don't think I don't think you have a limit on how you just start. If you have the means and the funds to
Yes.
start it, you want to send the letter, because I've seen people who just started get the concession and bringing in their
All right.
their stuff.
And that's why I asked the question because I know recently I helped someone who was bringing in some, well, she was bringing in some gel polish because she has a nail business. And she was bringing in some polish and some furniture and stuff like that, and she was given the concession. So the reason why I asked is because I wanted to see the difference in how it was done on St. Kitts versus in Nevis.
In Sync is the same, but you wouldn't get concession for just one item. Like let's say you're bringing a box of nail polish. No, it would just have to be a general pool of items where you send a letter, say, hey, I'm starting my business. These are the things I'm looking concession on, and then they will grant you the concession based on what you provide to them for what you're looking for concession. I don't think they look at the how long your business is open. As long as you have a business license, and because they're gonna ask for the business license, so cause you have to provide the business license. So once you provide the business license and all the information required, then you just, and with along with the letter, then you are given the concession on what you ask for. But
Oh,
sometimes concession helps, sometimes it don't help, because based on what we bring in, what I do before I order is I look at where I am ordering from. If it's cheaper to get it here, based on what it is, sometimes it's cheaper to order it. But to me, instead of just going on Amazon, I go straight to the site. As long as this site for the item I'm looking for, because what they do, as long as you're a business owner and you have a license, you get discounts, you get promotions and those kind of stuff. So sometimes that's how I just bring in my stuff cheaper, because I think a lot of people get the idea that because we're custom officers, we don't pay, and we don't pay full.
mm-hmm,
They don't play with us.
mm-hmm.
Business are personal. We don't get breaks. We don't pay.
Yeah.
I mean, it got the times when we could ask, but based on what it is, we still would hear a no. We got to pay half of the money. We do pay, but sometimes I do just go with my discretion. I go in town and I say, hey, let me go in Lucky's, or you have different here and stuff you go, and you see if the product that you need. Hey, if I buy two from here, how much it will cost me if I bring in two from there? And if it's less to buy it here, because sometimes it do be less. If it's less, I would buy it here. If it's not, then I would order it, because it doesn't make sense. Bring it in if I know it's going to cost me $2 more, because the $2 could go to something else. So that's how I do my shopping in terms of that.
Okay. Thank
For
you.
me, I think the concession, the time it takes to do the concession is my problem, because you got to go through so much steps and so much people and so much signature. That has been a problem for me. And the worst thing is when customs label give you a box a red flag to say commercial, they don't gonna leniency. So I would agree when she say it works, sometimes it works and sometimes it don't work, but for most of the time it has been problems and you don't always get through. And that's like a 70 to 30.
Well,
You don't
with
always
this,
get through.
with businesses, they don't give leniency because of the how it comes. With businesses, there's you have to do an entry. So there's no way that we could say let me take off something off of it. Because once you're labeled a business, you have to provide an entry. So
Yeah, but
it's
then
not a
how that's supposed to help us get through? If you're gonna be labeling us,
but
we try to
but that
take.
but that's not a us thing. That's a government thing. And sometimes for me is some businesses don't make it bad for some people.
Yeah, I would
Because
understand that. Yes.
it got some businesses where they cause so much mischief during ordering and those things that the ones them who really need the help, it's hard to help them because they don't put the small business in such a jam. Because when you're gonna have a business that is going to import but cut the invoice, that's a problem. And then they're going to say, oh, custom this, custom that. Well, we have a job to provide at the same way because if we lay certain things past you, then you're going to look bad on us. So we still have to do it in a way that, yeah, we're doing our job. And I mean, each one help one. Because it got a lot of people in small businesses that, hey, they could help you bring in some stuff. Because if I know you're bringing in some face powders and I know I got a box coming with some stuff, if I say Tiffany, hey, send your stuff them to me. I'm gonna bring them in my bags. Some of us don't want to do that. Which some of us feel like because we're in the same industry, we can't help one another. Because you have your customers, I have my customers them. I should be able to say, hey, may I open to the go buy Tiffany go do she makeup. But if I trust my customers, I should trust them to go buy you go do your makeup and come back. At least they got a backup for when I ain't there. But a lot of us in St. Kitts, we don't like to help each other. That is the main big problem now. We don't like to help each other. But if you have been flagged as a business, is based on how you bring in the stuff and for you to, because if you makeup or you bring in your personal makeup, you should be able either tell people have two box, have a business box, have a personal box.
When
So
you
when
say
you have a
how you bring them in, because if I doing business, may I bring in, mean because I know it's custom, may I bring in a large bulk. But if I bring in like say 7, 8 pack of eyelashes,
so that's
small,
why I
not
said have a business box and have a personal box because couple
no,
people who are
because the business box can cost more. That's where I'm running from.
but then
Okay.
put it
The percentage is more and the commercial. Is it not?
If you have a business box, when I say have a business box and a personal box, meaning like I don't want nobody to
I
take me.
know one for MU Mistress alone and one for me personal.
Gina, like I want nobody to take me. But when I say have a business box and a personal box, you hear as the person say, because I don't want to lose my work when I go work. But when I say have a business box and a personal box, you must know when you could lift up. Okay, then I could pay customs today. Or
You
when
can't
okay,
take
then I
custom
can't pay
naturally.
custom tomorrow. So so I mean, you gotta give and take, right? Because it's
Yes,
the same thing
yes.
I just do. I just give and take. Because I mean, I do have friends in custom that could say, Lord, I have something in my box, no back can't lift up the price. Wait, no. And they would work with me. But I won't do it all the time to say, oh, I don't pay nothing because you know what's gonna happen? They're gonna start to look into when I bring in things. How come she don't pay but the rest officers them don't pay? So my thing is have two separate bags. That way, even if you send it to, you're gonna use the business box. So even if you send it to your personal box, they're gonna realize hey that she personal. Because if she was sending it, she would have sent it to she business. If you understand what I'm saying, but you ain't gonna overdo it because you're sending it to your personal box. You just gotta know how to tweak it sometimes. Because to be honest, we got work to do, you know. Because when we ain't collect with duties and taxes, you know what the prime minister gonna come up and do in the meeting. Y'all ain't meet y'all target, and we gonna be penalized because we trying to work with people, but then is we getting the backlash in the back end, you know. So we still got to give and we still got to take. But what I'm saying is each one help one because if I could help you and I say okay then okay then if you say Trish and I say okay send it, then I'll help you. But my thing is sometimes you help and you still get in problems. You still get in
Um,
problems when you help.
Good night.
Yes,
But it
yeah.
all goes it go back to the our local community, and that is what I'm saying. It goes back to our mindset, right? We have a mindset of tribalism. We do a lot of tribalism in our society, right? We don't trust one another. We compete with one another. It's a lot of tribalism everywhere. It's in government. It's in the business places. So we need to change our in terms of community building.
Mindset.
Another thing is with from the business side. Well, I was doing management of business, right? And I know the in terms of markup costs. I don't know it into detail, but according to how much per unit you buy your products for, then it will affect your markup costs, right? Including customs and all of these things, which I think we need to be educated even on those things. Pricing strategy. That's another thing that we don't know how to price things. But I think it will be worthwhile to do some research and see if we could probably tap into other markets. Now, I've heard people, I don't go on Alibaba, right? And I don't see a lot of cheap things, but I really do not know about Alibaba. I don't know how to use it. But you see, a lot of the things that you're seeing in the American market, it's coming from China. But we're not educated about even these things in terms of the sources, the different market sources to get these things to probably lower our costs. And we could say, for people who doing braiding, I mean, it makes sense all join together, all doing braiding, but again, it's gonna be based on trust. Do we trust each other to say, well, somebody ain't gonna, rat out or do some things, that this is no business ethics. So, I mean, can we really create that kind of society amongst ourselves?
It can happen.
Not only that too, but you have, okay, for instance, there's the Alibaba is how much put it, a wholesale. The problem I have with it is people go to Alibaba, buy wholesale. Now, if I'm trying to go to Alibaba and cut price, and you're going to Alibaba to cut price, if I could see a way that I could order these things, you have enough breeders in here use the same thing, and I say, hey, I'm going to Alibaba, I'm going to buy a box of combs and I'm going to sell them. It's a ridiculous prices. I'm not saying that they don't pay customs, but such as what that has made other people feel like they pay customs. Because if you could go up to Alibaba and get a case of comb for less than 100 US. A case of comb you could get at the like for say maybe nine US dollars. But when it comes to St.Kitts, they sell one out of the box for the same 9 US dollars. So that is what's causing a lot of things. So it forces a lot of people now to have to go buy their own because they're gonna go on Alibaba and say, hey, this is the same comb that she got. And that's where she says she buy them from. So right now a lot of people don't even like to tell you where they source their stuff from, which could help you in the same way. So this is the whole thing, and that's me on a whole. Like once I ask and you give me that, I can just say like, okay, then cool, I can source my own thing. But then you ain't finding the quality with that they're finding. So you find that a lot of people now is like the overprice, the overcharge for the same things. And I mean, if I could source something and bring it in, yes, I gonna need to make a profit, but not such high of a profit. I should make an like bring it in and put it enough that I could say, hey, if I buy this for $9 and I sell one out of it for at least $1 US, I still gonna make back. By the time I sell other, I still making back the money. But I can just add on, okay, then a 25 cents extra to make the 25 cents extra. At least I know people gonna come and source it from me because they'll say, bye. When I go buy it, I bring it into custom. At least she don't have it. I gonna buy it from her. But they don't do it. They don't see it like that. They just see it as, oh, I'm gonna buy it, I'm gonna source it, I'm gonna sell it here. But everybody's selling the same thing for the same price. So I go in and buy the same thing. But then what gonna happen is that me making the same money as these brothers. So then he gonna break me back to bring it in.
Excuse me, I'm kind of
I have a question.
after she's
Let,
finished.
Rita?
After
for
she's
the
finished, can I
yeah
say something?
for the customs person, right, in the chat, for somebody who travels, let's say they buy the supplies or whatever they may need for their shop. How does that work when they come in?
When you come in at the airport,
Uh-huh.
Okay, so when you come in at the airport, you're supposed to declare what you buy, whether it's personal or business.
Mm-hmm.
What I do say is it's best to be honest, because if they do send you secondary and you say you said you didn't declare anything, that's false declaration. You could be fined a couple $1,000 just for saying you don't have nothing that you bought. So I always tell people the right way to do is keep your invoices, keep your receipts,
Right.
and every day you're gonna meet a customer officer that gonna say it's okay, you ain't got much, go ahead. You're gonna find the
Right.
one officer we're gonna say, okay, then welcome, and they will charge you. But it's not gonna be like that all the time. But if you could just tell them, some of them would charge you based on what you have there. Some of them would tell you, okay, then you can't go with your stuff because really and truly we're supposed to detain them. You go do an entry and you come back because you have a business. But you will find an officer that instead of putting you through that, you will find them say, okay, then they will charge you based on what you have, which in you still win because if you go and you do an entry, one, you have to pay a broker. Two, you have to pay freight and insurance and on it. So if they just charge you based on what you have, which is the normal duties for what you have,
Uh-huh.
then you still win in a sense
So
because
it's
you didn't pay
always
the
better to
freight,
be
you didn't.
honest.
Yes, so that's what I
As
just
long
say.
as
If
you're honest. So it's kind of
just be,
easier in a sense if you travel and bring in your stuff.
yes, because as long as as long as you have the invoices and your receipts or whatever you
Right.
bought them with, they
Mm-hmm.
can't charge you on what you did not pay. If
Right.
it's one thing I always say, if you say you don't have the invoice and the receipt, then the charge and you
That's
find out,
what
okay,
they
they
want.
overcharge me, then that's a fault
Yeah.
of yours because then they
Yours.
can't charge.
Right.
Yes, because you have it was long as you have the invoices and your receipt, then they
Mm-hmm.
can't charge you on what you did not pay.
Right.
Heather, you
It's for
want to
you
say
now to
Okay.
something?
know. It's for you now
Um,
to know your duties and taxes to know. Hey, I supposed to pay 5% panda, but she charged me full duty. It's for you now to know, which is to tell people there's a custom website. If you know what you're going to buy, you go and you look it up. You go on the
Okay.
website
Because
and you look
the
it up.
thing.
And the best way to find it is to go on Google. You put in tariff for
Put it
whatever
in
you
the
have.
chat first, please, Trishelle.
No, no problem.
Okay.
You go
Yes,
on
Heather, you
Google,
wanted
Google,
you
to
look
say
up.
because
something?
yes, I wanted to say something to the lady for customs there. I don't know your name. Your name is sorry.
Trishelle?
Trishnell.
Miss
Christian.
Mitten, which
Okay.
one?
Whichever who was talking about the customs cost and ordering things and the cost of what people will sell for.
Yes.
One thing you have to bear in mind that maybe in your situation, your only expense you have is a customs charge. But if you're operating a business as a storefront, we have a lot more charges than just a custom charge. So if we are doing pricing and we put on, okay, duty might have landing costs, must have cost it maybe the cost maybe $30 to $20 to bring it in. You still have to factor in all your other expenses that you have. I have rent to pay. I have internet to pay. I have just by making more than $2,000, 4% of it belongs to the government. So all these are charges. Yeah, I have bank charges. The bank charge me 4% every time I use a card sale. All these are
Mhm.
charges that I have to incur into my factor into my say my cost of my services. So it's not just customs. Plus, National Bank went up on charges the other day. So money coming out of my checking account now. So all these are things that you have to factor in, not just customs. So if you
I
see,
un-
I go,
I understand where you're coming from. Sorry to cut you, but don't get me wrong. I didn't mean it like that. When I said that, I mean it have some people that do have ridiculous prices, and we all know that. It
well,
do have people who have ridiculous prices. Don't get me wrong, because there's
And
a lady that she
real
sells.
ridiculous places.
Yes, some people do have some ridiculous prices, and some of them still don't operate as a storefront as you may do. Some of them all they have is more banking.
okay. I understand that, but as I said, maybe people know the value of their things, and I don't argue with people and the pricing. If I don't
No,
think
I don't argue either,
my
but I'm
value,
just
then I
saying.
don't. But I don't criticize. But being in business myself, and I have worked in business for years, I know at high levels, I know the expenses that companies do occur. Cause I've worked with companies, and even before the container land, customs want $120-something thousand for a container. I am fully aware of cost and how it goes.
Get it correct. How much you say they get custom? Can we own a container? Why?
No, I'm trying to say, when I work in companies and we order a container, 40-foot container will come in. Sometimes I have seen checks going to customs for $100-something thousand and so before we work the container.
Yes, you see why I'm glad I just be around certain people. When you say customs want it, the money is government. We get the bash, but we working for the prime minister. Only the prime minister could control.
The tax collector, the government, so it's the customs.
Okay, but we got to take the money because that's what the government said.
Let's move on, ladies. Let's move on.
Okay, all right, Gina, go ahead.
Yes, anybody else have anything else to add that we didn't discuss before? On the holdbacks? Okay. So every innovator has faced one or more of the issues that we have been discussing tonight. And the difference in what sets them apart is that they didn't stay stuck. So this is exactly why I created Chair to CEO Beauty Seed Grant. Now, persons may have an idea, but they lack confidence in their idea, bringing their idea to life. And as you guys mentioned before, limited funds. You have an idea, but you don't have the backing behind your idea. And there's always a fear of trying something new because you're saying to yourself, what if, I try it and it doesn't work? And as someone said earlier, I think it's Trishnell mentioned that there's no guidance or mentorship, or Mika it was. I'm not sure. And lastly, we like to play it safe. You always hear persons use this comment when they say, but this is how it's been done. This is how it's been done for years. Or this is how we do it here. But what makes that the right way of doing it? Because you have been doing it for years. So playing it safe sometimes is one of the bigger hindrances towards innovation. So we are introducing Chair to CEO Beauty Seed Grant. Now, this grant has a value of EC $1,000. You get $500 in cash towards your innovation, $500 worth of material support, e-guides, and mentorship sessions. Now, there's a 30-day challenge where you meet one-on-one with myself, and I guide you into launching your innovation. And this allows you a chance to level up your beauty business for 2026. Now, the winner of the grant, now after they launch their innovation, has to do, it's a paid forward system where they have to pay 100 EC gift back into the grant for the next recipient to bring forward their innovation. Okay. So for those of you who came in a little late, just a bit about me. My name is Gina E. Joseph, and I am the founder of Nail Goddess Global and Chair to CEO. I'm a beauty innovator, educator, and beauty visionary. I've created St.Kitts Nevis' first Beauty Innovation Seed Grant. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm the founder of the Golden Age campaign, where we beautify seniors. And I'm the developer of Nail Goddess's VIP Lounge experiences and leader in cross-branding collaborations. And I'm a champion of confidence, creativity in the beauty industry. Okay, so that's it, folks. Anyone have any questions about Chair to CEO or about anything else that was discussed tonight? The floor is open. Questions?
I mean, even if we are not chosen for the seed grant, would you still be accessible for certain questions and so after all of this?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, correct.
Okay.
Anyone else? Heather, Miss Hodge, Tiffany, Miss Smithon, Joy.
Gina,
Yes, Heather?
one of the things back to the applying for duty free concessions, it also helps for you to make sure you're up to date with all your government expenses. Because when they do the investigation, you can have a debt with Inland Revenue,
Correct,
Skelec,
yes.
Water Department, any government institution, your Social Security.
Yes, I forgot that.
You have to be up to date with those things that could hinder you from getting your duty free concession.
Correct, yes. Yes, I
So, and
forgot that. Thanks for
then
that, Heather.
also a next tip, if you have quite a few things, let's say you don't have the money to order them one time, submit the entire list that you will have for the year. I think it is given on a yearly basis.
Yes.
So if you, let's say you want 10 chairs, but you can only afford 5, submit the letter to the relevant department for the 10. And then you could always just tell them, look, I wanted 10, I got concession on 10, and but only could afford 5, so I bought 5, and try and get the other 5 for the other year, so you don't have to go back again to get the duty free concession approved. And I used to be a lot easier. Now I hear you have to submit all these other things now. When
Yes,
I
it's very
started my
difficult.
business 13 years ago, all I had to do was submit a letter and a list of the items that I needed to small business development at that time. But I guess Ministry of Trade, I think, was handling it. I guess things have changed.
Yes.
Every 5 years, this the wheel get reinvented. So it has changed a lot, but it was a lot simpler back then. But just make sure for one that you up to date with all the government expenses. Don't ask collect Social Security, nobody like that. And that would help you to process it a lot easier.
Correct. Thank you for that, Heather.
All right.
Anyone else?
You're welcome, dear.
Sorry, Heather?
Say you're welcome.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions or helpful information that they like to share? Okay, if anyone has any further questions or anything comes to mind after, feel free. You can call me or send me a WhatsApp or an email, and I'll be happy to assist in any way I can. Thank you, ladies, for joining. And
Sorry, good
yes,
night.
Miss
Before you
Hodgson.
go, what's
Yes,
the WhatsApp number?
it's on the screen, 664
I
23.
don't have on my glasses, sorry.
Oh, 664 23
Okay,
43.
thank you.
You're most welcome.
I
Anyone
have a
else?
question.
Yes,
Um,
Mika.
how are you eligible for the grant?
Sorry.
How are you eligible for the grant?
Okay, so you can send me a message and I will send you the link.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I have one more thing.
Sure, no problem, Miss Hodge. Go right ahead.
The lady speaking about being certified in 2022 or 2023. I did a course with the ICDF, with the Taiwanese embassy. That's how I became certified. So I don't know if they're doing it still, if they are still, the person could apply and do the course.
Okay, so if there's a way that you could send me the information so I could do it. I know someone told me about the same Taiwanese thing. I've tried before, but I have never gotten through. They keep saying that they will call, they will send an email, but I never gotten through. And then they sent me to this gentleman that deals with small businesses, and he never got back to me either. No matter how I tried to call, message, he never gotten back to me. So I don't know if you have a direct thing for me to.
I have a direct number for the secretary of the Taiwanese the Taiwanese. Well, yeah, because how I got through, I had to go through Nevis as opposed of because when they had it here, it was a lot of run around, and then I signed Nevis
Yes,
at the
that's
same thing. So I went through Nevis and I got my certificate from Nevis. But I have
oh
the information, just hit me up 7650506 and I'll give you the information for the lady.
0506.
I got my
Yes.
application from what is the name again? By the Child Welfare Department building. I had to
Gender,
fill out a
yeah.
form, but yeah,
Yes, it was a back and forth with them. They keep saying, "Oh, we're gonna call, we're gonna give you an update,"
Yes,
and they
that's
never
what I've been
did.
getting.
And they never did. And when Nevis opened their one, I applied in on the Nevis end, and I get you without any problems.
Yeah, that's what they've been doing me too. I've been trying for a while now because that's what someone told me, and I was not getting through. They never called, they never messaged, I never got an email. I've been calling, I've been messaging, I've been going, and nothing. But thank you. I have the number, so I'll send you a WhatsApp.
Okay. Have a pleasant night, everyone.
Same to you.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Nika.
good night.
Good night.
Bye, ladies.
Bye,
Bye.
Heather.
It was nice.
Bye, good
I
night. It was
enjoyed
nice
the
meeting
chat.
all of you.
Same here, Heather.
Where we doing it again? I enjoyed the conversation.
I will
Was
take
good.
the necessary data and plan another webinar.
I enjoyed the
Okay.
talking. I really did.
Me
So
too.
it was nice
Thank you
meeting
guys
you.
so much again.
All right, bye.
Okay, good
Bye.
night.